how do DJ duos work together? That's what I'm going to go over in this video, and I feel well placed to answer this question because that's how I spend the majority of my time DJing, is as part of a duo. So firstly, on a technical level, how does the equipment work? So 3 different ways here. You have a traditional back-to-back, so that's where DJs will use one set of decks and a mixer, and they will play maybe 1 or 2 tunes each, and then they'll switch using the same setup. The next DJ will have 2 tunes each. And so this is quite common when you see non-duos that are playing back-to-back. So you might have 2 special guests that are playing a set together, and generally this is what they'll do, is a back-to-back set, and it is the simplest way for DJs to share equipment. Now, the advanced version, or the next level of that, is to actually have 2. So basically 2 entire setups. So each DJ has their own setup, and then through a third mixer, you route everything. So they have their 2 setups either side with a central mixer, and that allows both DJs to be working at the same time, because obviously if they're sharing just one setup, then only one DJ can be working at any one time, whereas if they have a full setup each, then both DJs can be adding layers. One could be adding vocals or scratching, while the other one is creating the baseline mix, if you like. So that's the second type of setup. The third type of setup would be controllers. So this would be probably both DJs having a laptop each, and then a controller each. So I suppose it's similar to the double deck kind of scenario, in that they have the full setup at their disposal, and again they can be adding multiple layers in. And obviously when you take software into an account, then there's no limit really to the number of decks. You know, each DJ could have 4 decks on their software, for example. Yeah, so it really depends on how in-depth or how many levels they want to add to their mixes. So that is the technical kind of aspect of how DJ duos work together. Then you have the more theoretical or skill-based kind of aspect. So when it comes to perhaps everything around DJing, obviously when they're actually on stage performing, then both DJs have a set of skills that allows them to mix and create sets. But then around DJing, they might have different skill sets. So for example, in my duo, we can both DJ, but Matt, or Wellesley, produces music a lot more. So he handles a lot more of the actual production of our own tracks. So while I sit in and help and make suggestions, he handles all the core sort of technical aspect of building and creating those tracks. And the skill set that I have is, my background is a lot to do with graphic design, digital design, animation. So I'm able to do all of that aspect. So when you're a DJ, it's not just about being a DJ, it's about being a brand. And to have a brand, you need a logo, you need a website, you need all the assets that go around it. And I was able to create all of that side. So while he's creating tunes, I'm able to create all the supporting assets for that. And we also use projections in our shows as well. So I was able to create animations and videos that would be projected throughout our shows as well. So that's where being a DJ duo is really beneficial, because it splits a lot of the workload that goes in. You can still work as one unit, but you can get double the amount done in the same time, and you can leverage each individual's skills as well. And another area where this really benefits is in the marketing and promotion aspects, because as I mentioned, DJing, it means creating a brand and getting that brand out there and booking gigs. So if you have 2 people that are doing that, then you're doubling down on time and effort. So when it comes to marketing and sharing and even social media, you're just halving the workload. So one tip here, one important thing to note is if you're thinking about starting a duo or it's taking shape, it needs to be kind of an equal split between the work. Like both DJs need to feel like the other is putting in the same amount of effort. Otherwise, it can just fall apart really. And in the worst case scenario, one can end up resenting the other if they feel like they're not putting in the same amount of workload. So that's just a really clear understanding to have between each other, that if you're making a serious effort to create a DJ brand and establish yourself, that you both have the same level of commitment and you're both going to be pushing. And it can be a great way to do it. I mean, as I say, you're halving the workload, but the other thing you're doing is you've got someone to share the journey with. So, I mean, this both in the theoretical sense and the literal sense. So there's a lot of traveling involved in DJing. So like with us, I've basically got one of my best mates with me at all times. So even the journeys that we go on, you know, it's made a lot more fun because you're sharing that with a friend. And then when you're playing festivals, if you have any free time, then you've got someone right there that you can party with at your free time. And then, of course, you're sharing the experience of doing the gigs as well. And, you know, what's better than being the ones that create a party with one of your best friends on stage as well. So huge amounts of benefits to being in a duo. As long as you've both got the same commitment, then I would say it's really nothing but pure fun. So that was just a quick overview. I do go into this in more depth, some of the benefits, some of the pitfalls, the things you might come up against on the website. So if you go to bestdjsetup.com/duo, then you'll be able to read the article and see a lot more in depth in there with some examples of established artists who work as DJ duos, as well as there are videos embedded there that show you famous DJs that are using the different types of setup that I talked about. So sharing decks, double decks, and then controllers. That's all on the website, bestdjsetup.com/duo, and you'll find everything there. Thanks for watching.